so this is project log for the Boomerang launch, IYPT Boomerang launcher, part 1. This is definitely a project log and not a product log. And you'll see why. So so what am I making? I'm making a boomerang launcher. It's exactly what it sounds like. It launches a boomerang. However, it does so in a very controlled way, meaning it doesn't just yoink or yeet the boomerang, or not yoink, but yeet the boomerang however way it wants. It yeets the boomerang at a constant speed and constant rotational velocity each time. And to do that, I've made two systems, one of which is on screen right now. This is the CAD model for the launch mechanism. Oh, yeah, no problem. Not launch, but rotation mechanism. So basically this yellow thing you see here is the boomerang, and then this crappy representation of a bearing is it's a bearing basically. And let me just remove this so you can see a bit better. Yeah, okay, so basically we have this boomerang mounted here. Obviously this is a motor, well, maybe not obviously, but this is a motor, and it's going to rotate this white object and this boomerang together. Now, once the boomerang reaches a certain RPM, this entire mechanism is going to slide on a rail system, because it's going to be mounted on a rail block. So it's going to slide on a rail using another motor. But anyway, once it reaches its release point, just a moment, there's going to be a solenoid release mechanism. Basically, the pin that holds the boomerang to the motor is this hexagonal pin, right? And basically once the solenoid is activated, the pin is going to retract, so it's going to retract like that. And so it's going to release the boomerang. And since, the boomerang, since it's moving on a rail at a certain velocity, it has inertia. And so once it's released, it's going to fly off with a certain or constant rotational velocity. Now, this is the design. I haven't CAD'd the rail and the big motor yet, mostly because it's kind of in my head and I really don't need to, but still, I have CAD'd up the internal solenoid mechanism and whatnot. So I have a solenoid in here. Basically when it activates, it pulls this hexagon pin down like that, and then when it's not activated, it has a spring that makes it pop up like this. The popping up really ain't that important. What I really only care about is that it retracts when it needs to. Now then, you might be wondering, since, just give me a moment, oops, got it. Okay, so now you might be wondering, well, Jasper, if this solenoid mechanism is turning, like at 500 RPM by this motor, how is it going to get supplied electricity or, those signals for releasing? To that I answer, it's simple. You see these two lines here? These are actually cutouts for wires. And basically what it does is, I'm going to have two copper wires here on the outside of this rim. And then I'm going to have two thin copper plates that touch these wires and supply electricity. And inside I've made a cutout. It's big enough for a solenoid. This is normally used for like gaming consoles. A Arduino micro, which I can't seem to find right now, and an NRF module. An NRF module, if you don't know, is basically a comms device, and everything's powered by this copper wire, copper plate system. It's going to work like a charm. This motor, this is an encoder, so I don't need any of these extra wires. I just need the black and the red. It's going to be connected to one of these. I had a live one. Where's my live MOSFET? Yeah, one of these MOSFETs, which is also connected to another Arduino, which controls everything else. So basically, that's how it's going to work. So that's the plan, and yeah, that's it. Anyway, see you in the next one. Bye-bye.